What's up, party people? Welcome to Two Parts Pod, One Part Cast, the podcast where we bring theme challenges to our favorite bartenders, comedians, and self-proclaimed professional drinkers. My name is Sean Curtis, and I'm joined with my co-host, Frankki Ramirez. What's up, Frankki?
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
All right. Not prepared.
Yeah. You just had to get a new phone. You just said before.
No, huh?
Didn't you just get a new phone? No? Okay.
I mean, this was so a while ago. I just am off my phone enough, though, that, I still haven't, gotten my phone back to what it was before. I'm being very selective about what I put on it. Because a couple weeks back, we went to the sandbar, and, it got wet.
Yeah.
And so then I had to get a new phone. I had to get a new phone right before we went to the DR.
Yeah,
I was,
talked about that
freaking out, yeah.
Well, what's the sandbar for people that don't live on Oahu?
Well, I mean, sandbar... there's sandbars everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just,
But
here.
not everyone lives by the ocean, you know?
But, sandbars, they're just, you are at, a certain point in the ocean, the sand comes back up, so near the surface that you can, stand in it. And it's, almost like an underground island, in a sense. They did, I think they did a scene with it in Magic Mike. Yeah, they actually do have a scene in that.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
When they go out on a boat and they go out to the sandbar for like how we do here.
We just went to a sandbar in the Dominican Republic too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
There was a moment.
That one was.
Did we?
Interesting. Though.
It was not as good as.
It was
the
not
one
as
out
good.
Here. Yeah.
There was seaweed.
I
kept freaking out because it was something's touching me.
Oh, seaweed. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of seaweed everywhere. But I feel like living here, I'm kind of spoiled beach-wise. Everywhere else I've been, I don't know. I've yet to be to a better beach than any of the beaches we have here since I went on vacation.
Well, yeah, we're literally
paradise. Yeah. What else has been going on? You talked about your new job or didn't talk about your new job?
We did talk about our new jobs, yeah.
Well, okay. Let's just get to the weekly challenge then. Frankki, would you please present the challenge for our guest bartender this week?
Okay. So for this week, our challenge is one drink to rule them all. And we're excited to introduce our guest bartender for the week, Auggie.
Say the name. We wrote it down.
Well, I thought you said you didn't want to go by
Auggie
it.
is fine.
Okay.
We can be Auggie.
Okay. Auggie, welcome onto the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We work together at one of our jobs that we work at here. We've called it a rooftop Mexican restaurant, so we just don't get any more specific than that. Welcome onto the show. First thing we like to ask is, can you tell us a little about your history in the service industry?
So, as far as a bartender, I would certainly be considered a novice, amateur. Worked one summer pouring beers and doing whiskey cokes.
Yeah.
Don't know much with I don't have many skills with the shaker.
Yeah.
But I'm an avid drinker. So.
Yes. See, we say in the intro, it's bartenders or self-proclaimed professional drinkers too. So
very
that
good.
Totally counts. Yeah.
Well, and I'd like to thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Honored to be the guest of the reboot.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially for this theme in particular, because we've talked about it at length already.
Certainly.
Well, the theme is one drink to rule them all. Specifically, it's a Lord of the Rings themed challenge. So me, Pat, and Auggie spend a lot of our days at work talking about Lord of the Rings, the films, the books, all of it. So we thought this theme would be perfect for you. So we threw this episode together, basically. It wasn't on the theme list. We made it work for you. But yeah, so... service industry, you kind of buried the lead that was in in the south of France. I don't know, that makes it seem better.
Indeed, but it was somewhat of like a bush league operation, a hostel with a couple kegs,
nice,
and so on.
Do you think they had a liquor license at the?
I mean, it definitely wasn't illegal,
oh, yeah.
but also
underground
probably
operation.
in America it would be illegal.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't know. Do hostels sell alcohol in America?
Well,
American
yes,
hostels?
but you don't find hostels as commonly as you would in Europe by any means. When I went to Portland, there's only 2 hostels in Portland versus
we have a couple here, don't we?
No, we have one.
Oh,
actually, we have 2. There's one on Maui. There's one here.
Oh,
that's it.
When I first moved here, I worked at the Waikiki Beach Hostel.
Really?
Yeah. I hear if you work there, you get to live for free.
Yeah,
but they don't pay you.
Essentially,
it's
just board.
you work about 20 hours a week, and you get a free bed in a 6-bunk room.
Oh.
Oh.
That's rough, but I mean, a good opportunity if someone comes here,
Certainly.
Yeah.
Gave me time to look for an apartment, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
as long as it was fun at the same time. Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Although I've heard of horror hostel things. I follow solo travel on Reddit, and
that seems scary.
What do you mean?
It seems like a scary Reddit. I don't know.
No, solo traveling. It's
okay.
very uplifting.
Oh, I see.
I think more people should do it, and I think it's really great. But it just so happens that just one person, I read her story, and it was kind of a lot. I was like, that sucks, because I've had for the most part I've had really good experiences in hostels, but this girl was there was a couple in her room, and then they were having sex, and she had to witness all of it, and then another guy just smelled so bad. That's what I usually do when I book my hostels. I try and do all girl rooms, so I don't have to be near males in that scenario, because sometimes you do people have posted stories on Reddit where they're masturbating publicly in front of everybody and stuff, and what do you do what do you gross.
Hey, stop that. No, I don't know, throw a pillow at them or something. Knock that off. Cut that out.
Yeah, but then it just sucks, because then sometimes they go to the front desk and they're like, oh well, nothing we can do. I'm like, okay, you were at some sketchy hostels.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Oh, they came to me a few times. I worked the midnight to 7 a.m. shift at the Waikiki Beach hostel, and I wasn't too much of a stickler. If people were fucking, I'd be like, well, just wait 10 minutes, and then if they're still making noise in 10 minutes, I'll tell them to stop.
Yeah.
But I'm not just gonna barge in.
Hey.
But
as soon as you hear any sound, you're hey,
it's a hostel, but
you guys are just high-fiving. Okay, sorry.
I definitely heard someone one time, because it wasn't in my room. I had just gotten to Barcelona, by myself. I'm by myself.
Yeah, solo traveling.
And so I went, and I'm trying to figure out the door to my room, and it's not working. And then I'm in the hallway, I hear moaning. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm it's the next door room, and I'm there's no way that's a single bedroom. There's no way. And later on, I the whole trip, all I could think about was I wonder how many rooms are in that or how many beds are in that room, because I was in an 8-person room.
They had a whole crowd.
Yeah, well, it's
Audience.
all bunks. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone was in there, or they somehow convinced everyone to leave, or what. But I was huh, interesting.
Have you guys
people
ever
are freaks.
seen the film Hostel? It's a very informative documentary about 4 Americans that go to Slovenia.
No, I've never seen it, but I know it's not a documentary. Right?
Indeed, it is not.
It's a horror film. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I think I purposely never watched that, because I'm I'll probably stay in a hostel.
It's a rough one.
Yeah. Is that cannibalism, or is that
No, it's rich people paying to kill people. Not like The Purge, but they
Like The Hunt.
Yes.
Came out, the Glenn Howerton.
That was recent. Yeah, that was a recent one.
I have not seen it. But
Same concept, but
the ultra rich paying to be sadistic, essentially.
crazy. 100 Days of Sodom. What was that? Yeah.
120.
120 Days of Sodom. We thought of this mashup, 500 Days of Sodom, 500 Days of Summer and 120 Days of Summer.
500 in parentheses.
It's just famously the most fucked up movie ever made, kind of thing. I did some film report about it. I've never watched it because it's just horribly sadistic and fucked up. But then we could just mash it up with 500 Days of Summer, the cute rom-com with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Anyway, so talking about the wrong movies, can you tell us about your history with Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I would love to. Even since my most tender childhood, one of the first books that was read to me by my father was The Hobbit.
Nice.
Before I could even read, probably 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
That was my bedtime story, and ever since then, been hooked.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was the first PG-13 movie I saw in theaters, and my dad pulled me out of school they just released The Fellowship of the Rings. We gotta go right now. Took me out of school like halfway through the day. It's like, we're just going to the movies right now. Couldn't wait.
That being said, I must admit, I have read The Hobbit, but I have not read
The Lord of the Rings.
I have not. I have read passages.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, significant parts of the film that I wanted to read.
Like,
for example,
Pelennor
the
Fields.
Mouth of Sauron speech, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have, like, whenever there was, like an important piece of dialogue, I wanted to see how Tolkien wrote it. But
yeah.
I have not read the books through, I must say.
Okay. I have them if you ever want to get into it upstairs. I haven't read them in a long time, like all the way through.
Yeah.
I listened to The Fellowship of the Ring on Audible. I just listen to audiobooks most of the time now. But I do have the whole set upstairs. The one thing I haven't cracked open is I have the Silmarillion, and I brought that to the Dominican Republic with us, and I just didn't read a single word out of the book the entire trip. Like, again, I listened to a book while I was there, but I was just like, too much work to like.
I mean, this is like some niche Tolkien shit, but was there ever like some I know there's like the letters of Tolkien, right? But was that ever published in like a proper volume or what?
Well, I think they used some of that to put the Silmarillion together, if I'm not mistaken.
That was
Yeah,
of like a
sure.
post-mortem publication?
Silmarillion, yes. It was done in like conjunction with his son, I believe. They helped him like assemble it based on J.R.'s like notes and like writings and letters, and they put a couple like full-length stories together. And then I think at some point they just published all his letters and stuff like that. And there's something like that's all the Amazon show has access to, like just the letters or something like that. But they're
because
still
that's like in
butchering
public
it.
domain.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, J.R.R. Tolkien is the author of the book, The Lord of the Rings. That's I don't
And
know
The
if
Hobbit.
That's where we lost it. But anyway, yeah, the books are great. I like you read The Hobbit when I was very young, and then later got to Lord of the Rings. But I didn't read the books until after I had seen The Fellowship of the Ring. I was like, oh, I gotta find out what happened next, and then I ripped through the books. But comparatively, like the movies are like good action movies. The books are like long and drawn out and much more like poetic. But I like both versions of it. But it's a lot easier to just sit down and watch that movie because I've seen it probably.
Like The Hobbit is a fun read.
Yeah, it's quick too.
And I read somewhere that The Hobbit is from Bilbo's narration.
Yes.
He's a lot more playful, jolly, and so on and so
Yeah.
forth, right? Frodo narrates most of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more burdened by the ring and,
Yeah.
shall we say,
Emo.
whiny.
Yeah.
Well, that's emo.
Yeah.
However we shall put it.
Which Elijah Wood plays the character very well. Like.
Indeed he does.
Yeah. He's
Indeed
very
he
whiny.
does.
And like, I mean, obviously we say whiny, but he has like the burden of the entire world on his shoulders. But he
Frankie, what
complains
are
about
your
it a lot.
thoughts on Elijah Wood? What do you think?
The actor Elijah Wood.
I don't even.
I got you. Hold on.
He also plays in that one series with like a dog in a dog suit.
I
Huh?
love that shit. Wilfred. It's
Yeah.
called.
Oh, I've never watched Wilfred.
It
either.
is so funny. My shout out. We've talked about him before on the podcast. My friend Bareback Jackson from high school, dressed as Wilfred one Halloween, and he got the perfect suit. It was amazing.
Very good.
I'm looking him up right now for you, Frankie.
I'm looking him up too.
Elijah Wood. He has beautiful blue eyes. Perfect for Frodo. I mean, I don't know. I think all the hobbits were like perfect casting. Like they all.
I agree.
Except.
I agree.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
I mean, like, I love Billy Boyd has Hobbit energy in real life. Like, I don't know, like everything I've seen with him and.
Is he married?
Billy Boyd.
It's Mary, right?
Billy Boyd is Pippin, who came into our shared restaurant one time while Pat was serving.
Really?
And Pat served Billy
Nice.
Boyd. Yes. They have a good podcast now, actually.
So Billy Boyd is Pippin.
Pippin. Yes.
Have you guys seen?
Monahan is Mary.
Have you guys seen Master and Commander?
No, I don't think so. Movie, film.
Early 2000s. Russell Crowe.
Oh, with Billy Boyd.
He plays like a midshipman. Like
Really?
Russell Crowe is the captain of this British ship that's hunting after a Napoleonic vessel,
Wow.
like during the Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a good ass movie.
Yeah, but
It's
Billy
like
Boyd in
a
a
it's a
serious role?
full blown Russell Crowe like 2 years after Gladiator, good movie. Right?
Wow. Okay, yeah, peak Crow.
Peak Crow.
He's not doing much acting anymore though. He's mostly doing music. Have you listened to any of his music?
Russell Crowe?
No.
Billy Boyd.
I hope Russell Crowe's not doing it. No.
I have not.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, it was
I've just heard
a
that
lot of
one
fun meeting
song.
him. I immediately clocked him and I was like, this guy looks exactly like Billy Boyd. And I was like, is it him? So I went up to him and I was like, I have to ask, has anyone ever told you look exactly like Billy Boyd? And his eyes like lit up, and in his like Scottish accent, he goes, "I am Billy Boyd." I loved it. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Perfect. Yeah, and Pat got a picture with him too. We can post it.
I'm jealous of producer Pat, man. I must say.
And I mean, our other producer of the show, Daniel, just went to New Zealand and he did like the tour through Hobbiton and stuff. Drank at the Green Dragon, like I'm so jealous. But he asked us to post the picture of him drinking at the Green Dragon with this podcast release, so we will share that. Yeah, so movies, film. I mean, the films are amazing. I think the original three are the best. Like them better than The Hobbit, but like
Clearly.
I think it's like just because the budget was like so low for the original movies that they had to do so much with practical effects that it was like once they got The Hobbit, it was like they had so much money and it was just too much CGI maybe. But I don't know. I genuinely just like the spirit of the original movies a little more.
Yeah,
than The Hobbit.
same.
But and then the Amazon show is terrible. I don't know.
You know, Sean, I agree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Mhm.
But I would begrudge you for your apologism.
Oh, like I shouldn't even say like.
It is, like the mere fact that they were able to do it with that budget
Yeah.
and make it where it truly visually stands up today. Like
Yeah. You were just saying we were watching
we're talking about the wargs.
the wargs. Yeah.
The
You were
wargs.
talking about the
Like-
wargs from the Rings of Power. And you said
know,
how bad they looked, and
Yeah.
you're like, this movie from 2001
Yep.
looked spectacular compared to it. Like,
on Reddit I read the wargs from the new one look like enraged chihuahuas. So I had to Google it. I saw it, and the Reddit was right.
yeah, like it's like I know they're tasked, like they're trying to make it look different, like, but it's not. Don't make it look bad. Like, I mean, yeah,
But-
there's other big cats you can make it look like. I don't know. It's wild, but besides all that,
Yes.
like the original trilogy has a special place in my heart, and like Return of the King is still the most winningest movie at the Oscars.
That's, tied.
Tied with
Yeah,
what?
For with maybe Titanic. I'll look it up.
Oh, back when there were 2 movies a year. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I thought it had the most Oscar wins, maybe tied nominations wise. But
No, I don't think so.
now, Everything Everywhere All at Once is now the most like.
I think actually it's not. It might not even be tied for the most. I think Gone with the Wind might have more.
Okay, seriously, back when there were 2 movies a year. Like I said that jokingly about Titanic, but I think it's 9. I think Return of the King won 9 Oscars, something like that. Everything All at Once, Everything Everywhere All at Once won a bunch, but it's like it has the most awards of any film ever now, but it's not Oscars specifically. Like most Oscars ever is Return of the King. That's the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie.
And the thing that's even more amazing, or how should we say, remarkable about it, is that it wasn't fishing for Oscars. Like many movies,
No.
they release at that time of year.
Mhm.
They'll go out of their way to be a little extra weird, a little avant-garde,
Yeah.
and so on.
Okay, so it is tied for Oscar wins with both Titanic and Ben-Hur at 11 wins, but
11.
it's the record it holds is that it did not lose any of its nominations.
Oh,
So Titanic was nominated for 3 more, lost those.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's tied with 11, but it did not lose any category it was nominated for.
Oh wow. Have you guys seen Ben-Hur?
I have.
Yeah, that was like an old classic my dad threw on for me, and it was a spectacular movie. Have you seen Ben-Hur before, Pat?
Yeah, in like
When you're younger.
7th
I
grade.
mean, it's a really old film, like,
Yeah.
but the chariot scene where they're racing those chariots, got the spikes on the.
Is it Charlton Heston? Is it him? No. Is he Ben-Hur?
That sounds
I
right
think
to
it
me.
is.
I mean, I'm reaching really far back, but I think it's
Shall we Google it?
I'm on it.
yeah. Producer Pat's here to
Producer
Google
Pat
stuff
shall
for us.
Google it.
Producer Pat. All right. Let's see if I'm just making sure I ripped through all my different. Oh yeah, can you tell us about your history with alcohol? That's my one question.
My
I missed.
history with alcohol. So,
We like to say
It is Charlton Heston.
Heston. Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Damn.
growing up in France, we drink at least not in hiding earlier than Americans, I would say.
Yeah.
Albeit dumb drinks, like from probably age 15 to 17, when I would go out with my parents, I would order a beer with grenadine.
Oh.
Which I cannot stand behind today.
Yeah.
But at
I've
the
seen it
time,
done.
it's
kind of making like I've seen what's it called?
Corona.
The
Coronas
spaghetti.
do it.
Yeah, Corona
Just
with
like a
grenadine.
sunrise. You drink a little bit, put an orange juice, grenadine right there.
I'm gonna do a quick Google here.
I mean, for me, it was just a straight draft beer with a bit of grenadine.
Make it a little sweet.
But you know,
that is. Oh, sorry. It's a little bit of Aperol in a Corona.
Aperol.
It's a spaghetti.
No,
I've seen grenadine.
not Aperol. I've
A
never heard.
spaghetti? It's like a specific drink.
what's the name of it?
Well, like,
Spaghetti.
but I mean, I'm not talking about a
named after Tim and
specific
Eric. Yeah.
drink necessarily. I'm just saying like Mexicans
No, but I
like
thought
put
jamás
grenadine
spaghetti.
in it and like orange juice. You just drink a little bit off
Yeah.
the top before you you just drink like the neck of the bottle and then
Yeah.
you put orange juice
You
and
neck it.
grenadine in it.
Okay, I was wrong twice. It's Campari and Miller High Life. it wasn't. I got
I've
it.
never seen a Mexican do that.
Miller High Life?
Huh?
Miller High Life?
No, put Aperol on their Corona.
No, it's Campari. but-
Regardless,
Yeah.
both.
Miller
And a
High
Miller
Life.
High Life. It wasn't a Corona either. I just remember the bottle was. I thought it was Corona. But yeah, a spaghetti is 1 ounce Campari and 12 ounces of Miller High Life. So, and it's named for the Tim and Eric sketch, a spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
But yeah, so when would you say your first drink was? 15
No.
ish.
First drink ever?
Yeah,
Probably 12, 13.
12, 13. Yeah.
Beer
And
with grenadine.
Do you think like the different relationship with alcohol, like, I don't know, do you think it, overall as a society, do you think they have a better relationship with alcohol?
I mean, I would say the general levels of consumption
Mhm.
and problem drinking are similar,
Okay.
but the levels of binge drinking are far less.
I see.
Far less.
Yeah. Because there's something to be said where like we start drinking so much later, where it's like it's this thing you covet your whole life, and
And
then
then
all
you-
of a sudden you could do it, and then you just
You feel you have this one day of the weekend, gotta get super fucked up. That's the American way. You know?
yeah, that's the
But-
American way.
Versus like us at least still get drunk
Yeah.
and drink a lot, almost every dinner,
Yeah,
frequent, but probably less binge. Yeah, less binge
Less
drinking.
binging,
I'll
yeah.
say that's the main difference,
I
and
see.
more enjoyment of the alcohol as an actual
like the taste of the alcohol.
as an
I
actual
agree.
food
I
item.
see.
You know
Yeah.
how many young kids are like, I drink to get blackout drunk? Like, I
Uh-huh.
don't drink to, like, drink. I think that's, like...
I'm sure that was me when I first started. Like we were drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, like the shittiest beer available, and we're like, yeah,
I
but
like PBR.
Yeah. But, like,
now,
people, like...
I mean,
But, like,
I've
especially
grown
when I
accustomed.
started getting into, like, cocktails and stuff, I'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, yeah, like, why wouldn't I just drink, like, 1 or 2 at lunch? And, like, I'd have people comment, like, you're just, like, that's just a waste of money. Like, why aren't
Yeah.
you just, like, drinking and get blackout drunk? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not. Like,
it's just
you can
it-
still
it
enjoy
is kinda like the
drinking.
American way. It's like the goal is to like you don't do a little bit of something, like you do as much of that thing as you can, and then for your money's worth. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on the podcast before. My first beer was shared with Pat, and we were 17, and it was
17?
one warm Yingling. We were just talking about Yingling, but one warm Yingling shared with me, Pat, and like several other people. And we were just like sharing it, and like we didn't even like it. I just smacked my mic. Sorry.
So you're telling me you guys are good kids?
No, the trajectory of 17 to 18 was crazy. It was like first beer and then like first 30 rack the next weekend, like, basically. But yeah, so we've talked a little bit about Lord of the Rings, your history with the service industry and cocktails. Let's get into taking our first break, make our cocktails, Lord of the Rings cocktails, and then come back.
Welcome back, guys, to 2 parts pod, 1 part cast. We have made our drinks. We got an interesting lineup, but they look really good. They came out nice.
Yeah, wonderful. So, Auggie, it's your first time on the podcast, so we'll kind of, explain what we're doing here.
The peach ring sunk
Okay. Oh, really?
slowly.
you're gonna love the name because it's something else that sinks into liquid at some point. But we'll talk about, like, we basically just do a rundown. We let the guests go first. We do a rundown of the cocktail. Talk about if you have a fun name for it, and then we talk about what you did for the actual cocktail composition and what alcohol you used and ingredients you used. So, go ahead first. Explain your cocktail.
So when I was coming up with the idea of what drink I would possibly make for this great honor, I thought of the name before I thought of the drink itself. The Rye of Sauron. The Rye of Sauron. So, my thought process was like, okay, I got the name. Now I need to think of something where I can put a rye whiskey in something that would normally not have it, right? Because, just to mix it up, as it were. Anyway, so good sidecar. Normally cognac, right? But got the Bullet Rye bourbon, Cointreau.
Love it.
Just a classic sidecar,
Yeah.
And even, I say, the origins of the sidecar itself are a bit mystical.
Yes,
right?
yeah, it's like lost in history.
Exactly.
Cocktail history.
The Brits say it's from France. The French say it's from Britain.
Yeah.
It's called a
weird that-
sidecar, so they
And
Probably English,
maybe,
you know?
maybe Tom Bombadil made it.
Yeah.
perhaps.
It's seriously lost.
Just
in
as
there.
mystical as him.
But it's funny that both countries just claim that the other country made it. Like, no one wants it, even though it's a great classic cocktail.
But it's one of that Prohibition in America era classic cocktails. For sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, it looks great. We got the sugar rim on the sidecar glass, the coupe glass, and the cherry stem through orange wheel to represent the eye of
Represent
Sauron.
the eye,
That's
yes.
very nicely done. Here, Pat, yours is maybe...
Yeah, yours is.
You got the producer special, the worst looking cocktail, as we always give Pat. But yeah, I got the perfect eye right here. All right. Okay, so now we'll do our first sips of your cocktail, and we won't rate it yet. We'll just think about it for later. Not that gave anything away, but I'll rate it later. But that was a good sip. Okay, Frankie, you want to talk about your cocktail next?
No, can you go first?
Okay.
Busy sipping that rye of Sauron.
Sure. Yeah. Very nice. I'll rate it later. But all right. So mine also same thing. We worked together last night. We were hitting names off of each other. Mine is another one that I thought of the name first and then made a cocktail. Mine is called the Tom Gollums. It's just a Tom Collins cocktail, but with Gollum instead. I have a little peach ring at the top to represent the one ring, the ring of power. And Pat noted before we started that his sunk to the bottom. I'm like, oh, just like the one ring sunk to the bottom of Mount Doom. Yeah. So, but because I was going to use a peach ring, that was always the idea for like the peach flavor. So I did peach simple syrup instead. And instead of topping with soda, I topped with this peach Red Bull as well. So mine is like a little, definitely different than a regular Tom Collins. But all right, let's get our first sip. Tom Gollums. Peachy keen, yeah.
Peachy
Nice.
keen.
Very nice.
Okay. All right, that's mine. And then let's move on to Frankenstein.
Okay. Well,
Make some
since
notes.
I've never seen The Lord of the Rings or read or know anything about Lord of the Rings, I had
relate.
to cheat a little bit and use Pinterest for inspiration. So I did get this from Sips from Scripts. It was created by Alex and Kendall, I guess, of Sips from Scripts. Well, I kind of am using the name, not necessarily the recipe. I kind of did a riff off of their recipe. But it's called Stick 'em in a Stew. It's inspired by Samwise Gamgee, a hobbit.
Gamgee.
Oh, Gamgee.
Yeah, you're good.
Potatoes.
Oh,
Yeah, but you can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
well, so I essentially made a Bloody Mary then.
Yeah.
But I use 2 ounces of vodka, 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce.
I don't know how to
One
say
more.
it. I'm not going to correct you because it's really hard to say.
Worcestershire sauce.
You're kind of missing the middle, but like Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, Worcestershire sauce?
There's like a chest in the middle. Like
Okay, well, that stuff.
I still, Augie, how would you say this one?
Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, yeah.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce. I think the best way to say it is just to kind of like lilt out at the end of the word, because it's like I don't really know what I'm saying. Yeah, whoosh.
And then I
They don't know what you
used
mean.
4 ounces of a Bloody Mary mix, 2 ounces Clamato juice, and then about 1 ounce or like a shot glass of pickle juice,
Oh,
and then a dash of Tabasco, and then I topped it off with a parsley leaf.
nice. No potatoes though.
I didn't know that's what that was referring
Wait,
to.
vodka though?
Huh?
Vodka?
Vodka.
Potatoes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it does say to use potato vodka. They did put carrot juice in their version, which I thought was interesting.
I can't remember. I don't think they had carrots at that point. I don't know. They were making rabbits too at that point in the man. But we need some potatoes.
Well, the one that they used on Sips from Scripts, it also has like a meat stick and then a bunch of stuff on top. It literally has like a carrot, a tomato, a potato, like a mini potato on top of it.
Like a russet potato. Nice. Are we able to play the Boil 'em, Mash 'em, Stick 'em in a Stew remix on the podcast? Because it's not like a real song.
I don't know.
Okay, if we can, we'll put it in here. But yeah, we'll play that for you later, Frankie. It's very funny.
But yeah, so
Let's get our sips in.
Yeah. Good.
I don't know by that reaction.
Well, I don't like Bloody Marys.
Pat and I both don't
But
like
as far
Bloody
as
Marys,
Bloody Marys go.
I can still,
tastes like
I can be objective, taste-wise.
I like Bloody Mary. I mean,
Yeah,
I usually
I'm-
like Bloody Marias.
So the thing is, I'm a weird I like ketchup, but I don't like tomato juice. Like, I don't know why I draw the line there, but like,
Do you like tomato soup?
yeah,
Weird.
That's
pretty
that's
similar, yeah.
really
I
weird.
like
yeah.
hot and cold versions of the same thing, but I don't like whatever tomato juice.
I
But also, I don't like pickles. I don't. So those are like
Question.
my
You
you
two
don't like
things.
pickles?
Does
Yeah.
clamato actually have clams in it?
Yes,
For real?
yes.
Clamato.
Clamato.
It has clams.
Yeah, it contains actual clam.
God help us.
God help us all. Yeah. So it's like not
We've come too far.
vegetarian, right?
Well, Worcestershire sauce isn't either.
What
It's
is
like
that?
fish.
That's anchovies.
It's like
Anchovies.
anchovies, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good sauce. That's
Because I had a vegan friend and she like can't. She has to ask for like a blood. She has to ask if the mix
Is it
already
Clamato?
has
Is
the
it
Worcestershire sauce in it, or if they
Worcestershire?
put it in when they make it.
It gives the umami. You know?
It's giving umami.
I'm still just laughing like the Worcestershire. She just cuts out the middle of the word.
Yeah,
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, it's like probably a lot of things in Lord of the Rings, long British name that no one can remember later. But all right, so do we all kind of like figure out our ratings for all the cocktails? I might want to get another sip of this bad boy. So we'll rate your cocktail first, Auggie, and you can go first on your own rating. We like to let you self-grade before we get there. Yeah.
Oh, there's a self-grading component to this.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We all rate our own cocktails because there's times I'm in the studio, in the bar mixing it up, and I'm like, that doesn't taste anything like what I thought it would.
So
But,
the criterion are what? Taste.
so the first
theme.
is look and aesthetic,
What can I say?
then taste,
Taste.
and the third one is
Theminess.
theminess or
Yes.
creativity and how on theme it was.
Okay. Look, we'll take yours for the the prime example.
Yeah, we all made one good one.
I'll give it a 4.
Solid.
I must give it a 4.
The eye, beautiful.
Taste, I'll give myself a 3 because it's neither particularly spectacular.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never
But
had
it
a
is solid.
sidecar with rye, and it's
It is
kind of
solid.
nice actually.
On theme and creativity, I'd say on theme, very much on theme.
Yeah.
Creativity, so I'll give myself a 3 as well. So I'll go 3, 3,
Oh,
4.
okay. Pat, are you writing these down?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, Frankie, Augie's cocktail.
Augie. Okay. Look and aesthetic. 4.
Yes,
They weren't sitting
love
for that long, and mine like I don't know what's happening with the top of mine. So I guess like
It's sugar, probably. Sugar
Maybe.
separating.
Yeah, no. 4. But like when you first made it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sitting for just even not that long. My top is like weird. But that's fine. Taste, I'd give it a 4.5. It's pretty fucking good. I mean, I could see myself literally downing these like at a table. And then theminess, I have to go with 5.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe that it was good.
And there's symbolism in the garnish, which like I really like, and the name. So with my limited knowledge, it seems pretty like if I was a fan of this franchise and I like saw this on a menu at a Lord of the Rings like theme
So, like,
bar,
this is
I'd be
kinda what
like,
it's
oh, how cute! I'd
this
be
is the
like,
Eye of Sauron.
I've seen
That's kind
that.
of what it's
Yeah,
named
yeah,
after.
yeah.
So we called it the Rye of Sauron instead of the Eye. But yeah, you've seen this classic image.
I've
before.
seen that, like, yeah. But yeah, if I was a fan of this franchise, I think I'd kind of be freaking out if I, like, were to see this on a menu. I'd be like, ooh, that sounds cool. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I kind of thought similarly with Frankki. I thought I like the look. I didn't really look top down like you were saying. I do see what you're talking about. I think it's just like the separation of like the sugar and the juice in it. But I still think it looks great because I'm looking from this angle. I see the eye. I love that. So I gave it a 5 for look, a 4.5 for taste, which I think is what Frankki did too. And then I gave a 5 for theminess because it's the Rye of Sauron. That's perfect. I love the name first, and then you came up with like a really good way to like use the name. So I gotta say I love it. So 5 on theminess. So next up was my cocktail, the Tom Gollums. I'm gonna take one more sip of mine. It's good. I like Tom Collins's. I didn't use like the greatest gin. I used New Amsterdam. I don't know if you saw me doing that. It's supposed to be like London dry gin, and that's not what I did. But I'm on a budget. I was not buying like crazy because I don't really drink gin that much. So for look and aesthetic, it had the peach ring on top of it. We didn't have any genuine Collins glasses, which I was disappointed by. So I just gave myself a 3 on aesthetic and look. Taste, I like it. I like the peach variation of a Tom Collins, so I gave it a 4. And then for creativity and on theminess, which is basically name rating and garnish if it applies, I gave it a 5 because Tom Gollums, it's, you know.
What was your the first rating?
3 for look and appearance. Okay, Auggie, my cocktail.
So
Tom Gollums.
let me start off by saying that Tom Gollums is by far the funniest and best name of any of our cocktails. When you told me it last night, I had to refocus on my shift because it was so funny.
Lost in thought.
Indeed. So, flavor-wise, I'm going to go with a 5. Like you said, you didn't have the proper
London
Tom
dry
Gollums
gin.
glasses.
Yes.
So, for aesthetic, I'll go 3.5.
Nice. Okay.
And since I said, obviously, best name of the 3, theme, I'll go 5.
Nice. All right, Frankki, the Tom Gollums.
Run those numbers back one more time.
So, aesthetic, 3.5. Taste and theme, 5.
Nice.
All right, Frankki.
Appearance. What does a Tom Collins even look like?
It looks kind of like that. It's just like a little yellowish like that. That one might have a bit more of an orange.
What's this
Okay.
stuff on the top? Did you put foam?
No foam. It's just lemon juice, simple, and gin. And topped with soda. But mine's topped with like Red Bull. Rumbling. But yeah, I don't know. That's just like I shook the absolute hell out of it. I think it's probably the peach ring, like sugar, like dissipating into the drink.
I think 3.5 for look. Pretty
With the ring?
standard.
Lord of the Rings? No, I get it.
Pretty standard looking drink. Nothing too crazy. Peach ring's a cute little touch. Taste, I like it. I'm very surprised it's not stronger though. Coming
Yeah,
from Sean.
I thought that. So I think
I feel like it's a kind of
the recipe maybe I was basing it off of was it said like top with soda, but the amount of actual
room in
cocktail
the.
I had I had a little more than a top. So I think it's like a little more Red Bull than you normally would put in it, as soda wise. So, but I mean, it's 2 ounces
Yeah.
of gin in your cocktail.
Really,
Yeah.
I can't taste it.
Yeah, it's a 2-ounce pour. So, but
4.5. I like
yeah,
it.
you like weaker drink. I thought that was
No,
going
no.
another way.
No, I'm just saying I'm surprised for
It
you.
usually
You
tastes-
usually
yeah.
am like
I like
crap.
spirit forward cocktails. But yeah, no, this one, not really.
No, yeah, honestly, if this isn't a lineup, I wouldn't have put Sean.
Yeah, this would have been a Frankie.
Yeah, no, this is definitely something like I would make. And then theme, yeah, 5. The name again.
Golems. You know Gollum? Do you know the character? It's like this creepy looking. This guy is Gollum.
Oh, I
That-
thought that
Gollum.
was Frodo.
No. No. Frodo is Elijah Wood. An actor who just
I keep getting like
better
these
looking.
characters mixed up with Harry Potter though. Even though same thing I
Yeah,
haven't
like-
watched or read.
I mean,
Like Harry Potter fully.
Yeah, that's funny. But like a lot of people, there's the Gandalf and Dumbledore comparison. A
No,
lot.
that's
It's
what
like
literally
old
when you guys
wizard
were
man.
talking about Gandalf earlier, all I could think about was
You're really not far off,
Dumbledore.
but like I mean, it very
and then
different
there's
characters,
and then
but
there's
they
the
look
Dobby
alike.
kind of
Dobby
look
looks like-
Dobby.
Gollum.
Dobby looks like Gollum. Yeah.
That's true.
Dobby
But
want a sock.
I just wanna
like
point
that.
out,
That's literally all I could think about.
Lord
like
of the Rings
Say
came
Dobby want a
first.
sock?
Dobby want a sock.
Ollie want a cracker?
He never
Dobby
said-
want a sock?
I don't think he ever said Dobby want a sock. He was given a sock, and that's how he got freedom.
Dobby want a
Dobby
sock?
want a sock. There's something. It's much more like him getting a sock is like a beautiful moment. But
I
he never
know.
says,
Yeah, it's like
"Dobby
it's an
want a
art.
sock."
His master does it like unknowingly. I know that.
Yes,
Because like when
yeah.
you get gifted something, then you're like free.
If he gets gifted a piece of
Clothing, yeah.
So Harry sneaks a sock into something that his master like hands to him, and then he opens it up, and then Master has given me a sock. Like that.
Dobby want a sock?
Dobby want a sock. He said that right before too, so it was cool for him to be like, Dobby want a sock, and then he gives him a book. He's like, there's a sock.
What was your first rating?
3.5. But yeah.
Cool. That's all of them, right?
Frankie's.
Oh yeah, Frankie's. Okay. So Frankie, you want to go first on yours?
Looks like a Bloody Mary. 3. Taste. I think it's a pretty goddamn good Bloody Mary. I would say like 3.5. It could have been better. Although, like, man, like, I don't know. My friends are really obsessed with like Bloody Marys, and I'm like, I don't taste this. I don't understand.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I know. I still thought it was a pretty good. Better than my last one. Pat tasted my last. Well, it was a Bloody
Mary?
Maria. He tasted it. It was like straight Jose Cuervo, basically.
And you picked the worst tequila to make.
And we literally, that's all the tequila we had in the house. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And I was broke. I was not buying another tequila bottle, so I was like, well, we go back to my roots. Name. I think I kind of missed the stew part, like the inspo that like I grabbed it from. Like
Stick him in a stew.
stick 'em in a stew. It's definitely like more
I
stew
mean, what are you
stuff
make
on
stew?
top.
Like, make a stew
Yeah,
with
I don't know, but
alcohol?
then I just like I didn't want to like put all that stuff on because then it's like
Yeah.
then you're like, what am I like?
It
Is this a
was-
drink? Is this a meal? What are we doing?
I think
Since
using
you
vodka.
took the name, I wouldn't rate it based on that. Base it on how the drink applies to the name. You know, like did you stick them in a stew? Talking about potato stew, rabbit stew.
Did you
Maybe
do
a
that?
potato garnish would have been better.
It was a quote about potatoes, I guess.
Well,
but
I
you
didn't
used
know
vodka,
that.
yeah.
I just was like stew, Bloody
Yeah.
Mary makes sense. Okay, cool.
You used vodka. Yeah, vodka's potato.
Honestly, I
based.
wonder if you could use like Bloody
Rabbit.
Mary mix and
Wonder
use
if
that
you
as
could
a
use a rabbit in a cocktail.
Just drinking rabbit.
yeah.
So
I guess I give myself a 3. I mean, like, could have done more with the stew line. I just was like, yeah, it's a funny name.
Auggie?
Oh, I am now in judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So of course, Frankie, I'm not gonna have us nerds gang up on you. I wouldn't like to have that happen. So
It's okay, it happens.
We don't do gatekeeping.
for
Lord of the
theme,
Rings.
We do mansplaining, but not
I will give
gatekeeping.
you a 2.5. For taste, when I drink a Bloody Mary, I'm almost evaluating it as a food.
Mm-hmm.
a food.
Yeah, I get what
As
you're
a
saying.
food, I
Interesting.
give it a 5.
Umami.
What's the last?
Theminess? Or did you do
I
that?
did theme. I did
Look,
taste.
Look and aesthetic.
Look. I'll give you a 3. The sprig of parsley was nice.
All right. And for mine, I gave it 3.5 for look. Looks like a good bloody. I love anything hanging out of a Bloody Mary, so that looks good.
They wanted a. I forgot the meat stick. They had a
Meat stick with a
stick.
potato on it would have been better, but like you didn't even know the quote. So
I literally didn't know. I knew the quote,
But we are gonna watch the video on our break. Taste, I give it a 4. I don't like Bloody Marys, but like it tasted like a good Bloody Mary. Like you nailed the taste of a Bloody Mary, and you used potato vodka.
I'm
presumably.
glad I'm Tito's. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm gonna say you did for the sake of that. Name. 4 for what was that? Taste, and on theminess. You don't know the franchise, but like you found something good based on the franchise. Missed that the quote was about potatoes, though. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
I thought they were talking about like a person, like stick them in a stew.
So when you said like I don't know, it's about a stew or something when we were making the cocktails, I was like, okay, is it from The Hobbit when the dwarves almost get put into a stew by trolls? That's like a whole thing, but no, it was like one. It was from Lord of the Rings though, so you were more on theme. So I'll give it a 3. So while Pat gets the scores together here, we came up with a couple other names at work last night. If we want to maybe rip through those while Pat's doing some math. My favorite one that you came up with was, do you remember which one I said?
The Urukai ball, as it were.
Urukai ball.
But, can't work too much with a highball. So
Yes, I mean, not technically
the
a
name-
cocktail,
the
but
the
the
name
was great.
is pristine.
Yes,
But,
the Urukai ball was good.
Indeed.
I was going to do the Gimli Gimlet.
The
was
Gimlet.
my first one, yeah. Like, I love that name, but it was like, I don't want to make a gimlet really, but I don't know.
Do we call the Shelob Collins?
Oh yeah, that was that's how we got to Collins. It was Shelob Collins to start
Tom
off with,
Gollums.
but like then Tom Gollums was like the alt, and we were like, oh, that's so good. There was a couple more. Daniel had a few that we really liked. Associate producer of the podcast, Daniel. I asked for, seriously, in the shift, I asked for a margarita on the fly, and he said, "Oh, margarita on the fly, you fools!"
You
I was
fools!
like, oh, so good. And then there was his other one was
Gandalf the White Russian. Was it?
Gandalf the White Russian was
Oh,
yours,
that's a good
yeah.
one.
And based on a porn star martini, Daniel said the Aragorn star martini, which also really fun.
Bit of a stretch.
Yeah, bit of a stretch, but funny.
That being said, what is in fact a porn star martini? Do we know?
He told me last
I've heard
night.
about it before.
Yeah, it's a like passion fruit, vanilla vodka, and lemon juice martini.
Very
Sounds
well.
like a lot of ingredients for a martini, which
I was
is
about to say, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, not like it is like a famous cocktail, but not popular enough, I think, to make it a name. I don't know. I feel like a Tom Collins is more popular than a porn star martini. Same with a sidecar. But you had the Rohir rum. We were gonna
Rohir
do,
rum.
Rohir rum punch.
Nice.
Or something, the Rohir rum.
Of course.
Which I like. I love the Rohirrim.
Mordor Mule.
The Mordor Mule. All of it was so good. I wanted to do something with like the Prancing Pony or the Green Dragon, but I couldn't. Like, I don't know. Like, all I could think of was like calling it like, oh, the Prancing Pony Punch or something like that.
The infamous Jaeger Bombadil.
Yeah.
Jaeger
Yeah, like any
Bombadil.
bomb. Like we were like, oh, the Vegas Bombadil, like any Tom Bombadil thing. I was like, I wanted to do something. I was stuck on like Tom Collins, so I was gonna do Tom Bombadilins or something like that, like Bombadilins. I don't know. There's something there, but I saw something recently online where it was like fan casting in 2001 if they had Tom Bombadil. Somebody did a fan cast of Jack Black as Tom Bombadil
God.
and like drew it, and it looks fucking amazing. Like, and he was really popping off in 2001 too. I mean, still is, but I think it would have been perfect, but I understand why they
I'd love to
left it
see a
out.
John Goodman Tom Bombadil.
John Goodman. I mean, also
The
2001.
biggest dude.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, what? How is Tom Bombadil small? I don't know.
Yeah, he's small.
He's supposed to be like Hobbit sized.
Small.
Yeah,
So then John Goodman maybe won't fit the case.
but I mean, they like we were saying, they picked
John-
like
They can
different
make him
size
short.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Rhys Davies was the tallest cast
Yeah,
member.
yeah. What's your I don't think we talked about this earlier. What's your favorite character from Lord of the Rings?
I tend to waffle on this, but I'll go Theoden.
Mm-hmm.
Theoden King.
Theoden King. Coolest character. I think the charge at Pelennor Fields is my favorite speech, and his speech was yeah, death, Angus, death, death. Like, I was saying this to you at work the other day, where I'm just like, basically, as soon as he comes back, like, Gandalf frees him from his mind control. His son dies right away, and every moment after that, he's trying to die. Like, he just wants to like fucking die a noble death. That's it. And like, same thing at Helm's Deep, same thing at Pelennor Fields. He's like, just death. Like, he's ready to die, and he just wants to die in like a good way as a king.
All of his soldiers are like, well,
Ooh.
we can survive.
We can make it out of
Die,
this,
right?
right? Yeah, we can get out of this. Like, death, death. Hell yeah!
Like,
I mean,
okay.
yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, I always say my favorite character is like Samwise Gamgee or Gandalf. I don't know. I like go back and forth on both of them. But
Gandalf is a good one.
Gandalf is just like a great story writing mechanism. They just like have him pop in, save the day, pop out again. But like
Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina, yeah. They yeah, but I mean, Sam is just amazing because it's just like the true hero of the story, kind of, in a way. Like, yeah, Frodo carried the burden, but he carried Frodo the entire way. And it's like his speech at the end of the Two Towers is probably my favorite, like, piece of writing. Like,
dude, it's
Remind
so
us.
good. The one that there's some good worth fighting for.
yeah,
There's some good in this world
and
left
there'll be a
fighting for.
new light in the day, and it'll shine out the clear. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I tear up listening to that speech.
I just
do.
got chills.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. It's
Yeah,
just
like it, like
beautiful,
yeah, we
beautiful moment.
keep going because there's some good in the world, and it's worth fighting
worth
for.
fighting
Like,
for.
beautiful.
Fighting for.
Yeah, so I love him. Yeah, I saw something online. It's like, what's great about the Lord of the Rings is we never, like, if you're talking accent work, you never once hear anything about Elijah Wood or Sean Astin's accent in that movie, because they were two American guys doing British or Scottish almost accents, and they're pretty good. I don't know, like, I think they're pretty good.
Sean Astin was solid.
Sean
Yeah, his
Astin
was good.
Frodo didn't really do much.
Frodo, he's just kind of like speaking loftily,
Yeah.
so he doesn't really like have an accent, but he's just like, keep your secrets. Like, he doesn't do an English accent. He's just like,
Speaking loftily.
yeah, has like
a
a
good way to
great
put
lilt
it,
to
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
So I do have the scores here.
I can't, Sam.
Sam,
Go home. Like, he doesn't like that.
go home, Sam. So yeah, I have the scores here.
Oh yeah, how we do?
Here, I'm gonna steal your mic here. So, I'll start with Frankki. Frankki, you got a 3.388 on your Stick 'em in a Stew.
Well,
For
not the
never
worst.
seeing the series, yeah, that's very good.
For let's all remember the coconut tragedy.
Frank-
one.
Frankie-
Spoiled coconut.
Last season, Frankie almost poisoned us. No, I think I said I'm gonna stop talking about it on mic. There was some
Well,
deal
she
we
brought
made.
it up, so it's fair game.
Yeah. Some deal, but like, it was our $20 liquor store episode where you can only spend $20 for all the stuff.
Was that the
and I
hand
think she
stuck?
got like rancid coconut milk. And,
That was the hand stuck, right?
yeah, and the name was based on her
My
hand getting
stuck in a fridge.
Yeah, she like put her hand, like a double door fridge. She put her hand behind the barrier, and then it was stuck for a couple minutes. And was that to get the bad coconut milk too?
No, I don't
Okay.
even
I
remember
mean,
what it was to get.
Ridiculous.
Some kind of
I'll
juice.
send you
I
that
think it was
episode
just to
because it's
drink. I
just
didn't even think it was
insane.
for your cocktail.
so
Auggie,
funny.
you got a 4.2
Ooh.
on the Rye of Mordor.
Oh, nice. The Rye of Sauron.
Or
Thank you.
Rye of Sauron. And Sean, you got a 4.27777
Oh, just clinched it for
on
the
your
Tom Gollums.
Gollums.
Nice.
So our winner this week is Sean.
Very good
Tom
ratings, though.
Gollums.
Oh, both of us with the 4.2.
Very tight. Very
Yeah,
tight.
that's nice. All right, well, good stuff on the cocktails. We're going to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back, play a party game of the week. Frankie is going to quiz us on the Lord of the Rings. and then we'll be finished. We'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we're back from our second break. Here again, you're listening to Two Parts Pod, One Part Cast. If you've been listening this far and you still don't know our name, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you found this then in the first place.
How did you get here?
Me.
Some sort of weird Spotify rabbit hole.
Yeah. Someone's
but
Spotify DJ is playing us.
This week for our party game of the week, I am gonna be hosting it because I know nothing about this, as I mentioned multiple times. So instead, producer Pat is gonna be playing.
I finally get to take a quiz.
Yeah, no, you always talk about how you want to take the quiz. And we have Sean and Auggie going against
Producer Pat.
producer Pat.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay,
Is that like a team up against me?
so
We're all playing separately.
We're-
not teaming up.
gonna be. You know what? We're buzzing again. We're gonna be buzzing.
Oh yeah. How do we want to just say buzz?
Raise hand.
Say buzz.
Say
Well,
buzz.
no,
for the
for
mic,
audio,
yeah.
say
Yeah,
say
yeah,
buzz.
we gotta
Indeed.
say
Buzz.
It's
Like that.
chaotic,
Yeah.
but
It is chaotic.
it will somehow work.
Very good.
But buzzing physically with your mouth bzz, when you're ready to answer.
Buzz, buzz. Or is there a Lord of the Rings esque thing we could yell instead?
Well, too late.
Death. Yeah. Let's do the death instead.
Death,
Okay. Not
okay.
buzz. We yell death. Instead.
Okay.
Are we doing that?
We'll yell
Yeah.
death.
Instead of buzzing.
Very good.
Whenever you guys have an answer to the question I ask, whoever gets to 5 right answers first wins.
Okay.
Okay. So in the Fellowship of the Ring, the fearless warrior Boromir
Yeah.
dies saving which two
Death.
characters?
Death.
I think it was Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
Merry and Pippin.
Correct. 1 point for Sean. Can you hold it on your hand? There
I
we
got
go.
it.
I'm not keeping track like Pat. Okay. Most of Middle Earth's hobbits called the Shire home, but where exactly was this beautiful grassy?
Death.
Death.
Hobbiton.
Death.
No, it's asking for
Okay.
Continent.
a continent or
Area.
country.
Eriador.
No. Like one in the real world.
Death.
Oh.
England.
England.
Death.
Death. Scotland.
Wait. No.
Death. New Zealand.
Hold on. You got too many deaths.
Death?
Yeah.
Why
you
don't you
got
chill the
way-
fuck?
Yeah.
Death. America. Death. South America. Death.
I said
Antarctica.
England, Scotland, New Zealand.
No, Sean. Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
finish the
skipping
question.
That one.
Finish the
no,
question.
if you get it wrong, then the other two people
Yeah.
have.
You ever played a game show before?
Yeah,
Come
no,
on.
no.
So if you get it wrong,
You're out until
they-
the other two
and then I
people
can
get
guess.
their
Okay.
guess, and then,
Then
you
you
can
can
do
have
it.
another chance.
So we're skipping this
I should have let
one.
you finish the question, but I
It was
What-
New
New Zealand.
Zealand.
It
It
was
was
New
New
Zealand, okay.
Zealand.
That's where they filmed the movies too.
Okay. The Misty Mountain was once inhabited by a rambunctious clan known
Death.
as.
Durin's people.
I literally didn't even finish the question.
But is it right?
No.
Oh.
No, that wasn't even any of the answers.
Durin's
known as
folk.
Durin's folk. What are Durin's folk most commonly known as?
Death. Dwarves.
Correct. 1 point for Pat.
Most commonly known as dwarf.
Okay. Oh, Orlando Bloom is in this?
Yeah, he was
Legolas.
in that. We just showed you that clip of taking the hobbits to Isengard. Yeah, it was his
Oh,
first
he's
major
pretty
role.
young.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
really young.
okay.
It was his
One.
big break. It was
He
his
was
first break.
Legolas.
Oh,
I guess
I
those
didn't
two
know
towers.
that. Okay, Orlando Bloom captivated us as the blonde-haired Sindarin
Death. Legolas.
elf. Duh, that's not even done.
Named Legolas is the next
You
one.
guys
All right,
need
you
to
gotta wait
shut
now.
up
You gotta
until
wait.
I finish the question.
He knows how to win.
God. Yes,
How's being the
Legolas.
quizmaster?
As the son of the 11th king Thranduil of Mirkwood, Legolas was the prince of which realm?
Death. The Woodland realm.
Correct. Pat, too.
Wait, Legolas. What'd you say?
Legolas.
Legolas.
Okay. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is chock full of memorable quotes. Who said, "I would rather share one lifetime with
Death.
you"?
Aragorn.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Aragorn.
Does they go by another name?
No.
Death.
No.
Death.
No.
Death,
Death,
death, death,
Arwen.
death. Straight.
Correct.
I thought it was Aragorn
Wait,
too.
what was it? Who's it?
Arwen.
It's Arwen. She says it to
I thought Aragorn
Aragorn.
said it to
It's a
Arwen,
conversation
but it's-
between those two.
Arwen says it to Aragorn.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause she gives up her
she's
immortality.
the one that is giving
Fuck.
up immortality.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
Makes sense.
How many do you have? You're almost
3.
3. Damn.
I'm
Okay,
getting
well,
like
3,
badly killed
3
somehow.
for Pat, 1
Fuck.
for Sean, 0 for Auggie.
Keep
Yeah.
jumping.
Okay.
Oh.
Each Lord of the Rings character had their own weapon of choice. For example, Legolas.
Legolas.
got worse.
Legolas. Legolas.
Legolas.
How did he just said it?
I don't know.
Legolas.
I'm about to call him Lego at this point. Was a
Old
skilled bowman, and Gimli excelled with his battle axes. What was the name of Thorin's sword in The Hobbit?
Wait, who?
Thorin. Oakenshield.
Buzz. It's Goblin Cleaver.
Oh,
No.
that's a good guess.
I don't remember.
Okay.
You guys got a
Auggie
guess?
or Pat?
You guys have to say some guesses. I think Goblin Cleaver might be like.
Sting.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't have a guess. I don't know.
Was I close? I feel like
No.
it means something. I mean, is it like a made up name?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I'm not recognizing it.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
what is
what
it?
is it?
Pat doesn't have a guess.
You don't have a guess?
I got
None of you guys want to guess?
Death. Glamdring.
It's,
Maybe he took Gandalf.
It's Orcus.
Or Christ.
oh, that dude, that is a famous one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the Elven blade.
It is.
Yeah, they found it. Oh, okay. Orcrist, also called the Goblin Cleaver.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
But
so
I don't want the point. I don't want the point.
Okay. It's no secret that the Lord of the Rings characters like to have a good time. They enjoyed ale, wine, and mead at several locations throughout the trilogy. Which of these was not an inn, tavern, or pub mentioned in any of the books or movies?
Oh, she's got a list. Okay.
Alright, so we have to wait for her.
We gotta wait for the list. Gotta wait for the good.
Oh, you want me to list them off?
You have to,
Yeah, it
right?
says
Oh,
which of
okay,
these
okay,
was
okay.
not.
was not.
Sorry. The Green Dragon, the Old Guest House.
Death.
Death.
Augie, I think.
Yeah.
The old guest house.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I
didn't
said
even
wait
wait
for
for-
her to finish the list.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, keep going.
The other ones were the Prancing Pony, the Hobbit's
Death.
Hoof.
The Hobbit's Hoof.
Correct.
What's the old guest house?
I don't know.
She wasn't finished. God damn.
Doesn't matter. If you think it's
Okay.
right, you can jump in.
Gollum remains one of the
Gollum.
most well-known. Gollum?
Gollum.
Like Gollum City? Like Batman?
That's Gotham.
Gotham. Gollum City.
Gollum City.
Okay, well, Gollum remains one of the most well-known quotable characters from Middle-earth. Before we became the Gollum we know.
Death.
Death?
That was Pat.
Smeagol.
Correct.
That was me.
So,
Pat's
Pat
like,
is
The
one
Wi-Fi's
away
messed up at
from
my house.
one.
Yeah. The Wi-Fi's messed up at my house. I think there was some latency.
Okay. Amidst the many acts of heroism, Amidst the many acts of heroism, who boldly said the infamous line, "You shall not pass"?
Death.
Death.
Gandalf the Grey.
Correct. Okay. In the Fellowship of the Ring, Bilbo gives Frodo. What kind
Death.
of names are these?
Death. Sting.
That was the rest of the sentence. That wasn't even the
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my
I jumped
God.
early. It's
You
okay.
enjoying being question master?
No.
I gotta jump on these points. Okay. So it's just Augie and Pat for the rest of this.
Okay. In the Fellowship of the Ring, Bilbo gives Frodo a powerful sword named Sting. This unique weapon has.
Death.
Okay.
It glows when it sees orcs.
You said orcs?
Orcs.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. Damn it. I should have just said, gives him Sting and it glows blue when he sees orcs. Just
Describe everything.
Okay,
say everything I
well,
know about
Augie finally got his first point.
Lee.
There we
Yes.
go.
Augie's got his numbers on the board.
In his youth,
I'm gonna stop being so damn polite.
Aragorn was known by the Sindarin word Estel. What does this word mean?
Death. Strider.
No.
Death? Friend? No. I know that's wrong.
What was it? Estel?
Estel.
Death. King.
No.
Oh, death. Prince.
No.
There's only one death per round.
No, it's
Well, after
everyone's
Okay,
guess.
yeah,
So
another
you can go
chance.
again, Augie. No.
Okay, death.
Free death.
This is the last guess, and I'm telling you guys.
Air.
No. It means trust or hope.
Mm.
Aragorn didn't
Yes.
learn about his true name or
Aragorn.
ancestry until Elrond revealed it to him when he was 20 years old in the year 2951. At this time, Elrond bestowed upon him the Ring of Bahar and the Shards of Narsil.
Nailed Narsil.
Cool.
You
Okay.
said that
Good
word
to know.
right.
Galadriel, or the Lady of the Woods of Lothlorien, was among the most influential elves in Middle-earth. What gift does she give Gimli?
Buzz.
Gimel.
Strands of her hair.
Yeah.
A lock of her hair.
Can you be more specific?
More specific than a lock of her hair.
Yes. I'm gonna give you the points, but I'm just...
Death.
3 locks of her
3
hair?
locks of
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, it was
That's
three.
3, yeah. But Gimli. Gimli. Galadriel, Gimli, Lothlorien.
So you got
Lothlorien, you said right.
Gimli was
actually.
the only
Gimli
bad
is
one,
the
actually.
shortest
So
word,
Galadriel,
and you were like,
Lothlorien,
you said
Gimel.
Lothlorien and Galadriel right, and then said Gimli. The
Well,
small, easy word was the one
How
that
many
got
points
you.
you got?
That's 4
Oh
for me.
shit!
you have 4 now? Oh, shit. Okay, well, we're tied. We're like head and head now
Make it a
between
hard
Sean
one.
and Pat.
Now we need Augie to get 3 more
I'm
points.
just going in the order this thing gives me.
Okay.
Okay, after a failed attempt at corruption, Saruman imprisons Gandalf atop the top of the Tower of Orthanc. Who comes to his rescue?
Death.
Fuck.
The
Fuck.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Do the Eagles have a name?
You gotta name the eagle.
Oh,
Name the eagle?
I got it. I got it. Death.
Wait,
Death.
wait. Let me say a guess.
Death!
I don't know it. Lightwing.
Death.
No.
Guanir.
What did you say?
Guanir.
I think that's how you say it.
What
Good
is
enough. I'm
ridiculous.
fine with that win.
It's Gwaihir.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck,
Well, then
how'd
Pat
you know that?
wins.
Yeah.
Woo.
Guanir? I've never heard that before.
Guanir, I think.
Oh, but I've never heard that eagle's name before.
Leader of the Eagles. You should know that one. If there's one Eagle's name you should know, it's Guanir.
Damn. All right. Well, that's our Lord of the Rings quiz. Augie, thank you for coming on this episode. We're gonna wrap things up.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Anything you want to plug before we take off?
No, I have no plugs.
No plugs. Off social media, right? Not,
Indeed.
No gram. All right, this will blow you up. You'll be famous after this episode, and then we'll talk about the Instagram. All right, let me see. Outline's a little outdated, but thanks for listening to 2 Parts Pod, 1 Part Cast. Please follow us on our socials. We are at 2 Parts Pod. Leave us any feedback and reviews that you can. If you have any ideas for wacky themes for future episodes, email them to us at 2partspod@gmail.com. And you'll get an on-pod shout-out if we use your theme. Our YouTube page is updated again. We have all of our episodes on the YouTube page as well, if you'd rather listen like that. Besides that, we're on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, all that stuff. Not Apple Podcasts yet, but we're working on it. We just need an LLC. Anything you want to plug before we take off, Frankki?
No.
That is a no.
All right, big
Sorry,
no.
I
Cut.
had to think about that for a
Okay.
second.
Well,
Well, I
thanks.
can't tell him. I can't tell him to come
Did
visit me in my new
Augie
restaurant.
Plug and chug?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a plug, so
Oh.
he's, yeah,
No
it's
plug.
the plug and
Gotcha.
chug. Normally we chug
Well,
the rest
the
of our
chug and
drinks.
You
chug.
can just
You can chug if
that.
you want, yeah. Oh, he picked the
Oh,
bloody
chug
the
and the
chug.
bloody.
I
Well, he already
drank
chugged
the
the other
rest.
ones.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Can't chug a Bloody Mary. Can't do it.
Can you please? Anyway,
You can try.
all right. Augie chugged his drink. Thank you again for coming on the podcast, and
Thank you
thanks
for having me.
everyone for listening to 2 Parts Pod,
1
Part
Part
Cast.
Cheers.